Lately, I have seen a lot of videos of black people making fun of Mexicans for what's happening right now with Mexican people. I have also seen black people make videos talking about Mexicans. Don't come to us for help because we're not helping. First of all, Mexicans are not alone. They have Honduran people, they have Salvadorian people, they have Guatemalan people, they have Nicaraguan people, and a whole bunch of other countries that are willing to join forces with the Mexican people. Black people, what makes you think that Mexicans are going to come running to y'all for help? What for? Y'all black people can't even help yourselves. That's wild. Mexican people are hardworking people. Mexican people stick together. They make it work. That's the total opposite of a black person. You want to call me racist? Go right ahead. I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, Mexican people are not alone. They have all of us. What makes you think that a Mexican will say, oh, okay, well, we have the blacks. Let's go to them. Come on now. Y'all don't even trust each other. What makes you think that a Mexican will trust you if you don't even trust your brother? Get your popcorn ready and watch how Mexicans make this work.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So guys, before we start today's episode, we just wanted to take our time to wish you a happy new month, right?
Right. I hope that this new month starts off well for all of you. And I hope that it becomes a productive month for all of you, right? So in today's episode, you're going to be reacting to a Latino man who decided to come onto the internet and castigate the black community because in his own view, he felt like the black community was not united with the Latino community, and furthermore he went on to accuse black people themselves of being divided.
Right. And I feel like he could have handled this differently, because at the end of the day it still remains that the Latin community contributed a great deal towards what's happening to their community right now.
Right. And that wasn't even the black community's fault. Like, the statistics are there on the internet of how the every group voted, and this is what they chose.
Right.
Whatever is happening right now.
Yeah, but guys, we don't want to talk a lot. Let's just watch this video and then we come back and talk about it. You can let us know your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. Let's watch and then we come back.
Black people, what makes you think that Mexicans are going to come running to y'all for help? What for? Y'all black people can't even help yourselves. That's wild. Mexican people are hardworking people. Mexican people stick together.
92% of black women in this country voted for Kamala Harris. 83% of black men in this country voted for Kamala Harris. We are by far the main and probably the only race that was literally pushing to save every single other demographic who is not white in this country. You might want to take the bass out your voice and show a little bit more respect. If it wasn't for black men and black women, especially black women, we wouldn't have had a chance to even beat Donald Trump. And because more than half of your people voted against their best interests, you guys wouldn't be put in this predicament in the first place. If you had just listened to black people to begin with, y'all wouldn't be here to begin with. Now, I agree with you. It's absolutely disgusting that anybody, black, white, doesn't matter, sitting here making jokes about ICE and deporting people. I think it's disgusting. I agree. But don't you ever in your life think it's okay to fix your lips to say anything about black people like that. Especially when we were the main ones trying to save everybody. Everybody. Our women tried to tell you what to do. We advised it. None of you listened. You guys cared more about your proximity to whiteness than saving your children, saving your women, saving your parents and grandparents, etc., etc. Before you fix your lips to sit here and say, oh, black people don't know how to band together, we did. We band together more than every other race in this country when it mattered the most. And y'all still failed us. Clock that till you wake it up.
I saw a video of a Hispanic man today saying that we don't need the support from black people because we got each other. We got Mexicans, Hondurans, Salvadorians, Nicaraguenses. He basically mentioned all Central America and said, we don't need you guys. If you guys can't support each other, how is it that we need your support? Or how is it that we're going to even get your support? Anybody who saw that video, I watched the whole thing. Anybody who saw that video that's black, I'm sorry. I'm wholeheartedly sorry. We don't all think like that. My heart has been filled with so much joy seeing the support from the Black community, because we're finally coming to realize that we are so much alike, that we need each other, that we need to support each other. That rhetoric that we should hate each other, now more than ever, we should see how alike we are and how we need each other and how we can succeed when we unite. So I'm sorry, and just know that we don't all think that.
Lately, I have seen a lot of videos of black people making fun of Mexicans.
Oye, burro, no nos importa. Eres racista. That unity that you were talking about? Explain this. A lot of times y'all like to talk about black people and not working hard and we don't have any unity and things like that. But when you look at these exit polls, it appears that black people were, for the most part, on one band and one sound. But when it comes to Hispanic people, Mexicans, as you can see, Latino men were not unified with you. Latino women, give or take. But the men, they definitely wanted to see you struggle. They definitely wanted to see this happen. And you get on Pootie Tang's internet and starts blaming black people, saying that we're teasing you and we don't want to help you. And then you turn around and say that, you know what I'm saying, we are the opposite of you. We don't work hard and we don't have any unity. Motherfucker, do you even know who you're talking to? Who you're referring to when you get out here on these TikTok streets and start running your mouth? Let's get into it. You wouldn't have what you have today had it not been for the struggle and the blood of black people that was spilled on the street fighting for your rights. You wouldn't. Whatever it is that you think you have, whatever rights and privileges that you think you have within these borders would not exist had it not been for black people. I don't even want to get into the motivation for why a lot of us voted for VP Harris, because her policies were anti-mass deportation, anti-xenophobia, anti-homophobia, anti all of the shit that you're seeing unfolding before you. We weren't voting for her simply because she was a black woman. We were voting for her because her policies aligned with who we were as a people. And who we are as a people is humane and empathetic. We may have some internal issues, but when it comes to how we feel about how the world works and how other people are suffering and struggling, we are one band, one sound. We don't want to see people go through what we've gone through and what we continue to go through. So we vote according to those politicians who may pander at times or whose policies align with our views and our humanity. But you see, motherfuckers like you would get on this internet and start talking about, black people don't work hard and we don't have unity. First of all, black people only started to be labeled lazy when we no longer worked for free. You see, black people, we work hard. The problem is that when we get a job, you motherfuckers want us to work twice as hard because you believe that we should be grateful for that job. We should be so grateful for that job that we should work harder than everyone else. And when we speak up for ourselves and say, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not doing Jose's work. I'm not doing Billy's work. I'm not doing Jill's work. You hired me to do this work. If you want me to hire to do extra work, then you need to pay me extra money. The moment we start speaking up for ourselves, because we're not going to be sun up to sundown slaves while being paid less than everyone else, then all of a sudden we're lazy. It's not that we're lazy. We have pride now. We have a voice now. And a lot of you especially believe that black people shouldn't say anything. We shouldn't have a voice. We should just accept how things are so that the rest of you could go on with your life and pretend that we have no input in the things that you have and the rights that you have today. And all those other countries that you named, if you look at the exit polls, it clearly shows that Hispanic men, just like you, and I can almost certainly guarantee that you voted for Donald Trump. And you will turn around and say black people teasing you. Well, most of us, you may think our silence is teasing. You may think our response is like, it ain't got nothing to do with me, it's teasing. But we mean that shit. Because our vote overwhelmingly against what we're seeing today was our help for you. And what did you do? You told us we don't need your help. Now you're mad because we're saying we're not giving our help. We are trusting you know what the fuck you're doing. But apparently you don't, because you don't even know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't need our help, motherfucker. All you've gotten is our help since you've been here, since your ancestors got here, and so on and so forth. All you've gotten is our help, because white supremacy haven't issued you a single fucking bone. Everything that you have, even your protections of the sanctuary cities. Look at the sanctuary cities and look who predominantly occupy those sanctuary cities. Y'all some goofy motherfuckers. You have allowed racism to cloud your brain. You crazy up here now. Even in the face of mass deportation, xenophobia, and outright blatant racism, you still would look black people in the face and point the finger at us instead of pointing the finger at the people that are rounding your people up and shipping them out of here as if they don't have any humanity. And as much as we care, people like you make it difficult for us to even have a little memory of a heartbeat for you. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because the rest of your people might actually need our help. But it's people like you that make it really difficult for black people to put our anger and disappointments to the side and lend a helping hand. Because you still peacocking for white supremacy while white supremacy got its foot completely lodged in the crack of your ass.
Lately, I have seen a lot of videos of black people making fun of Mexicans.
I remember you. I do. About 3 years ago, you made a video about black people, unprovoked. You see, you told us black people that we were jealous of you. You told us that we did not work hard, unprovoked. You told us that we did not stick together, unprovoked. It would seem that you have a history of attacking one specific group of people. So here you are again, not wanting to follow the example of black people voting overwhelmingly together against oppression. No. You are here telling us that even though we did that, we don't stick together still. So what do you call it when you're more mad at the people that said you shouldn't vote against yourself than you are the uncomfortable amount of Hispanic people that voted against themselves? That's called anti-blackness. But you have a good day.
Lately, I have seen a lot of videos of black people making fun of Mexicans.
Man, if you don't shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. You need to be mad at the people that's on your side and that's in your race that voted for that. You trying to get mad at us, you know, black folks, for the things that your people voted for. You trying to hold us accountable, but you ain't holding nobody else accountable. Man, if you don't get your ass off this app and go fucking figure out where the fuck or who the fuck are you mad at, shouldn't be us. We ain't do nothing to you. It just seemed like every time something happened, y'all just blame black folks.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the videos we just played in the comment section. Yeah,
Right.
You know, I feel like it takes quite a lot of organization and unity for people to be able to come together and create movements like Black Lives Matter. You know, it takes a lot of organization and unity, you know. So for him to say that they're not united, yeah, how you can't compare and say that Mexicans are more united unlike black people. You know, that comparison just doesn't match up, because I do believe there's conflict in every group. Even here in Africa, I cannot say that people are baseless for saying that Africans are not united, because we do know that there are times we do have our conflicts, yeah, but you cannot compare and say Mexicans are more united than black people. Exactly what do you use to measure that statement, you know?
And I feel like should black Americans have kept quiet and just let things go as they were, the next coming election things would have been the same, and the Latin community would not have known how black Americans truly feel. And you know, when someone wrongs you and you don't tell them this is how you wronged me, the mistake is bound to be repeated. But right now, I can actually give props to the few Latinos who are coming up, like this lady here,
taking ownership.
They're taking ownership, you know, because they've sat down, they've listened to what the black community is saying. And I feel like the reason why this has dragged too much is because people are not owning up to their, you know,
they're still trying to shift blame to the black community.
Right.
And you know, that's funny, being that a big percentage of the black community voted the other way, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of unfair for someone to come, you know. I feel like if you need help from somebody, as I said earlier,
first take ownership of the role you played in bringing that misfortune to yourself.
Right. And then for you to pass across a point, you don't need to downgrade someone else for you to feel like you're communicating your message, you know. For example, when he said that Mexicans are more united than black people, you know, you don't have to you need help from this group, you know. And at the same time, you're talking like you're talking down on them, you know. How is that going to work on your favor?
It's, if anything, I feel like it's only gonna make them more angry than how they are angry right now, you know. Because in order for them to forget what you did during elections, imagine just start owning up to your own side of the story, and then this time take real measures to make sure you don't abandon people on the battlefield.
Yeah, and someone put it very clearly that a lot of Mexicans, Latinos, voted for Trump because they were trying to approximate themselves to whiteness, and now it has backfired, you know.
And you know, the funniest thing is how palm-colored people played them. Because palm-colored people at that time, they didn't let them know they were just, you know, Latinos and people of color. They used them to get that vote, and then immediately after they were declared winners, they came out to make the distinction and make it clear that they were not like palm-colored people.
Right. And guys, can we talk about how Latino community, the statement that they're more united? It's funny because I saw a group of boys, college boys. These college boys, yeah, they had formed a committee, a Republican committee, to report their fellow Latin students who are immigrants, who are illegal. So they were like, if you came into this country illegally, it's like the way they're acting, it's like they're not part of the Latin community, they're more part of the white community, and so most of them look like anchor babies, you know. So to feel the pride and arrogance to talk down on your own people just because, you know, the circumstances in your own circumstances are different, you know. I feel like people need to move with a bit more understanding, especially if these are your people.
So guys, I don't know, let us know what you think about this episode, and also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.